Trial of two men accused of killing Scott Brooks, the co-owner of Brooks Sandwich House, is paused today as courts are closed for Veterans Day. But the third week of the case started with the judge replacing a juror. The decision to replace juror number 4 came after he fell asleep in court on Friday during opening statements, causing the prosecution and defense to express concerns during the selection process. Juror number 4 indicated that he worked third shift but felt serving on the jury would not be a problem. On Friday, after a court clerk spoke to the juror about the importance of the trial, the judge said the juror called the court later that night to say that he was still having trouble functioning. He didn't show up in court on Monday.
All right, so joining us now is our chief legal analyst, Collie Rhodes. You have been in many a courtroom, done many a trial, and you're kind of shaking your head here. What have you seen in terms of jurors having to be dismissed for things like that?
Well, that's important. It's you're entitled to a fair and impartial jury, someone that can listen to the facts and be able to render judgment against you. I tell my juries all the time that this is intertwined in the very fabric of who we are as a republic, and the fact that you get an opportunity to do this, I thank you for your service. I've said that a whole bunch of times. Right? But if you're not listening, if you're not awake, you really can't be doing the service that we need you to do. And so, yes, rightfully so, raised by defense, rightfully so, raised by the prosecution. That's important. And so that's why you have alternates. When you're in a jury with multiple defendants, when you're in a jury that's a murder trial, you're going to want to at least have 12. You want to have 14. I should not at least have 12. Have at least 2 additional. If you have 4 additional, even better. Because things happen. People get sick. People aren't able to make it. Life just happens. And so you want to ensure that those alternates are sitting there, they're listening, they're paying attention. And if someone got to get subbed out, you know what they say in sports? Be ready. Okay, your number's called. You went from the bench to first string. Hopefully you were paying attention, because now we're depending on you to be in the game.
In all your years of being in court, have you been in the middle of arguments or going through the process where you've looked over and seen a juror either spaced out, fallen asleep? I mean, what do you do in that instance? Most recently, at my last trial. I mean, it happens all the time. So during jury selection, I would assume that this individual raised this question with the judge. Hey, they're asking the questions, and some portion comes up to, what do you do for your job? I work third shift. Can you set that aside? Will you be able to pay attention? The key words is, will it substantially impair your ability to be fair and impartial? And if you say yes, most of the time the judge is going to let you out. They may say something about, hey, I can't let everybody out for work. But if it's genuinely something that you can't set aside, then they will. I mean, I'm a juror watcher. I'm looking at the jury. So if other folks are speaking, if the DA is speaking, I'm trying to see reactions. I want to see if they're engaged. Are they taking notes? Are they awake? Are they kind of pretending to be asleep or paying attention? Those are the things I'm looking for. So yeah, in my most recent trial, we had a couple folks that I was thinking maybe they weren't paying attention, and I think they righted the ship as the trial went along. But it's hard to sit there. I mean, if you went, from every day being someone that's active, moving, jumping around, to now I need you to sit still for 5 hours or 6 hours. Oh man,
judges are good. They give you built-in breaks. Still hard to pay attention and listen to something that's most of the time boring. I mean, you don't want to listen to a cell phone expert talking about how they pinpointed where your client was. It may be fun for us, but I can guarantee it's not fun for most people. And so trying to make sure that a judge manages this calendar, manages the schedule, that's extremely important. And so having a seasoned judge like Judge Trosh, who I know very well, I'm pretty sure he was like, look, we can get rid of this guy. We have an extra person. We cannot have this and make sure this case goes forward.
Now, besides this, what are some other instances you've seen where a juror has been dismissed? Is it for mostly, watching the news or talking about the case? Are those two big ones?
You're spot on. Inappropriate contact with defense or DA, going outside their way to research the case, during their own fact finding. One thing, like in our situation, trying to go to the location. No juror did that, but the judge made sure to bring that up. I don't want you going to the location. When I was in Michigan, I remember my judge actually took the jurors to the physical location because he wanted them to see it. But I can remember that jurors were in their mind, hey, I wonder what this looks like, because it was a place in the middle of the woods. You can't really describe it. Pictures don't tell the actual story, so you want to physically see it. They may have thought about driving up there on their own. You don't want to do that. Everything that you get from this case, all evidence, should come in this courtroom and nowhere else. Clear reason to dismiss.
Yeah.
Channeling all those hours watching Matlock and Law and Order when I was younger, have you, as an attorney, have you ever changed your strategy or your tactic on what you were prepared to say based on the vibes you're getting from a jury?
Oh, 100%. I mean, throughout the entire process, I'm taking all the evidence and I'm getting everything. I'm getting my closing ready. And I'm also trying to figure out, okay, I got all these notes, detailed notes about every person that's in the jury box. So I'm trying to say things and pull out things and make a connection with at least one of them. Remember, the DA's office has to be perfect. They have to get unanimous. For me, to be successful, success could be unanimous, not guilty, but it also could just be one person that's a holdout. So if I make a connection, make a bond, not going out of my way to do that, but by something I've said or something I've done, hey, that would be great. But I can't make a bond if that person's sleeping, unless I can find a way to get in their dreams. That's probably not going to happen.
That would be
or nightmares.
An extra superpower. Cully, thanks so much for explaining that one.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.